Let's
We
go.
got a lot
Get us
to
going.
talk about today. We got Tom Withers coming in later. We're going to
Yep.
talk some guards. We'll talk some Cavs. We got some Browns to get to, and
Yep.
that's where we're going to start. After a quick word from FanDuel, you guys know I love sports. I love them so much, I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is cooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the official sports betting partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And I'm curious, Bull, if FanDuel could put out odds on whether or not Brandon Aiyuk will be a member of the San Francisco 49ers next season, because as of yesterday, he has officially requested a trade after an offseason of unsuccessful attempts to reach a contract extension with the San Francisco 49ers. The Browns could potentially be in the market for a receiver. They have not come to a contract agreement with Amari Cooper to keep him here in Cleveland for the long term. So how do you digest and how do you kind of get a read on the Aiyuk situation in San Francisco and how it relates to the Browns' wide receiver room of the future moving forward?
I'll be very surprised, guys, if Brandon Aiyuk gets traded. If I'm the 49ers, for a minute, T. Higgins wanted to be traded. The Bengals were like, no, we're not trading you. And I don't know that he ever officially requested a trade. But if you're a team trying to win a Super Bowl, and the 49ers clearly are a team trying to win the Super Bowl this year, I'm not trading Brandon Aiyuk. I'm not interested. And if that means he walks next year or whatever, or I trade him next year, maybe. But I'm not trading Brandon Aiyuk if I'm the Niners, no matter what. He is not going to sit out. Guys, outside of Le'Veon Bell, who was sat out in the last – and by the way, that was a disaster for Le'Veon Bell when he did sit out.
Is he on the fifth-year option right now?
I think so.
I believe so.
I think, this is going to be his fifth year.
Can somebody give me his cap number, how much he's making this year?
This year, give me 1 second.
I'm guessing $15 million, something like that. Maybe 20.
Probably 20.
He wants a long-term extension, and that's
of
the
course.
holdup in San Francisco. According to Over the Cap, this season, his base salary, which is exactly what his cap hit is because the fifth-year option, is $14 million.
Okay, so $14 million.
So
he's underpaid.
He ain't leaving.
He's gotten better every year.
He ain't leaving 14 on the table.
There's no chance he's leaving 14 on the table when he can get. And let's say he sat out the whole season. Well, he wouldn't be a free agent now next year. If he plays this year, he's a free agent. Unless he has a catastrophic injury, which is unlikely, but you never know. He'll get paid big time next year. So he's not sitting out. So if I'm the Niners, I'm not trading him. If I'm the Browns, of course I'm making a phone call.
Yeah.
Why not?
I agree with that statement.
But I wouldn't trade him if I were the Niners. They said they're not going to. We'll see what they think.
Well, I mean, didn't Debo did the same thing, and he ended up getting the deal. But the thing is, I've been watching the receiver thing on Netflix. Great show, by the way.
I just started it.
I might have to check that out.
I've been watching it. So Debo, they've been talking a lot about Debo and stuff like that because they're following Kittle and Debo.
Yeah.
And every time they show San Francisco and they talk about Debo, they talk about how big of the game plan he's a part of.
Right.
Like when the Browns knocked him out, it completely messed up their game plan because he is a big focal point of their offense. They don't say the same thing about Aiyuk. So, that's why people
they might if they were focused on him.
I don't think they would.
They don't use him the same way.
Exactly.
Sure.
They got different packages, and there's so much stuff you could do with Debo. So that's why I think that they're looking at it like we didn't already pay Debo. Jawan Jennings, didn't he get paid this offseason? Didn't they give him?
I think he got 3.
It wasn't nothing
30.
big.
Yeah, it was a little contract.
Right.
So they didn't pay him. They didn't pay CMC.
Yeah.
They didn't pay Nick Bosa. They didn't pay Fred Warner.
I think they paid Kittle.
Hey, look.
A few years back.
I'm gonna just keep
they running out of money there. Then they got to pay Brock Purdy.
Absolutely.
So it's somebody got to take the hit. He gonna be the guy.
That? Mike?
Juwan Jennings signed a 2-year, $15.4 million
That
extension.
ain't nothing crazy.
Let's be clear. I like to put these in regular people terms, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put names on it. This is completely hypothetical. Do not get up in arms. Do not be like, oh my gosh, clutch your pearls. I'm just giving you an analogy.
Oh, here we
There's
go.
the disclaimer. Say, for instance, UCSS hits a big, right? We to the big time. They say,
Wouldn't
yo,
that be
Haven't we hit it big already?
nah, we ain't. Hey,
You
listen,
mean like national
no,
level?
No, I need y'all to put us on TV 5 days a week.
All right, all right,
Okay.
yeah.
That's if we listen to
Put it out there.
Hey guys, I believe
WKYC 5 days a week.
I believe in speaking to things into existence, and I
Yeah.
believe we'd
There's
be a
power
great
in the
addition.
tongue.
For 2 hours, 5 days.
Yeah, I like that. So listen, so say UCSS is a big time, we go national or something.
Okay.
They said we got to do everybody's deal over. So then he's like, okay, well, we got to get McNuggets together. Okay. Oh well, Jay and Bull, they got to get the deal together. They got to get Jay and Bull got to get the deal, man. Then you know, the production team, they do it big. We got to pay them. Mm-hmm. Then we get down to the last few. They be like, oh well, Jason Lloyd, his name's on the show now. We got to get it together. And then it comes down to the last 2 people, 2 or 3 catches, me and Tyvus. Now I'm looking at Tyvus, and he looking at me. We like, hold on now, like what we doing? So then they come and say, listen, all right, we gonna give G. Bush some money, and we gonna have him running around here like Debo saying, we gonna give him a sideshow and everything, right? Mm-hmm. But they be like, but G. Bush, man, he be hurt sometimes. But when he plays, he's dominant, right? But when he's there, he's a beast.
When G sends his answers in,
He's a monster.
it's great. You just don't always know.
So
he's
now
gonna
we
do it.
got Tyvus sitting here. And Tyvus looking around like, hold on. Now, listen. Now, I get it. They're like, Tyvus, you got to work under the old contract. We didn't want when we went on TV.
Listen.
You work under that for a year, and then we re-up with you the next year. And nah, bro, I need my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches today. Everybody ain't going to be eating lunch without me eating. And Brandon Aiyuk is out here looking around like, Christian McCaffrey stayed with a sore hamstring. Debo Samuel stayed being on the injury report. Yeah. What are you talking about? And George Kittle is paid like a high tight end, but guess what? He's not even a fantasy guy. He don't even put up numbers like that with Purdy. And I got 1,600. You telling me I gotta wait? No,
16
No, he had 16, but he had 1,300.
Same, listen, same difference. Yeah. Like he's looking around like this is crazy.
If he had 1,600, we wouldn't even. They would have paid him.
He was a second-team All-Pro receiver last year.
Come on.
And you ready? Real quick, Steve, don't drop this. You see the stats on the left side of your screen? And shout out to Corey Kimman for putting this on Twitter. Great stat. He did all of that on the left side of your screen with 1 more target than Elijah Moore had last season.
Oh my God!
Hey, listen.
Him and Elijah Moore
That's crazy.
were separated by 1 target.
Why you got to bring him into this?
One was a second-team All-Pro. One has been demoted to the 3rd receiver.
Why? Where
One
did
is a
that have to
second-team
do with
bump.
anything?
That is the craziest stat I've heard in a long time.
It's irrelevant, though.
It is irrelevant. But
I mean, to
Like,
him
come
it
on,
is, but so for me, I look at it like this. This is why I always try to tell people, man, like if you're a pro, it's hard to do. See, the NFL is systematic with it, bro. Like they keep you poor. Like the way they set up the way they pay you, they getting paid like glorified high-paid teachers. I didn't know this till Tyvus told me. Like they don't be getting no checks in the offseason. You play a game, they give you a game check.
No, you get checked. They used to. Now they spread it out now to where you get the checks. It used to be 17 weeks. Now I think it's 34 weeks. So you do get some checks now.
Yeah, but you still get the same total money.
Yeah. At the end of it all, you get the same total, but now they don't give you the whole lump sum in 17 weeks. It's spread out to 34 weeks.
Which is better.
Which they negotiated through the new Super
Which is definitely
These things are a big deal for guys like Tyvus who are battling for roster spots.
Right.
I mean, Debo's still making $14 million. It's not like
he blow $14 million in a year. You got bigger
so if I'm Brandon Aiyuk, you guys got to save y'all money, bro, because that's the only way you about to get back onto the bargaining table is by being like, all right, well, listen, I will sit out.
Right. But
right?
You don't think he's going to sit out the whole year, do you?
No, he might sit out some games, though.
I don't think he's sitting out any games. I think he may sit out training camp, maybe.
And he will get fined for that, too.
Right. He loses.
That's why
do you think he misses a single game if they don't trade him?
No.
Oh, who has?
No, because see, we was talking about Amari Cooper. There's a big difference between Amari Cooper sitting out and him sitting out.
Yeah.
The difference is Amari Cooper's old. He's young, so like if the Niners don't pay him, okay. He's been talking about he want to play with Jaden Daniels in Washington anyway.
Right.
If he make it through this season, he going to Washington.
Amari Cooper
has no choice if he wants to get his money and get paid like he want to be paid. And he want to get paid by the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
He got to make him feel like he's missed.
Amari is a smart dude. He knows he's 30 years old. He knows a lot of receivers start going downhill then. If he has a bad year now, he's not getting anything next year.
Correct.
Whereas,
no, he'll get something. It just won't be.
But Brandon Aiyuk, unless he has a terrible injury,
he's
getting a huge contract next year from somebody.
Washington,
because he's only 26. He'll be 27. Somebody's giving him a huge contract.
Or he can do, which I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
He can go and pull a Terrell Owens.
Which is?
Cry and say that's my quarterback?
No, just be a complete, you know what?
The worst teammate ever.
And publicly be like, I'm not playing for you. I don't like what you did about this. This happened behind the scenes. Y'all be thinking Kyle Shanahan. Y'all think he dope? Let me tell you what Kyle Shanahan was doing. Like, you make noise in NFL locker rooms.
Get him out of here.
They'll get you up out of here.
I hear you. But Terrell Owens is a Hall of Fame player. He ain't no Hall of Famer.
Right.
I mean,
so
he's a good player.
I'm not advocating it. It's a very dangerous game to be played.
You think they're going to trade him?
No.
If I'm the Niners, I'm not messing with. If he walks at the end of this year, you're right. What you said. They've paid all these other guys. They're probably not going to pay him.
They're
going to let him walk.
He's in the same boat T. Higgins is.
Right.
Except he's been more productive.
Now,
yes, he has, no doubt. He's gotten better every year.
Yeah.
He could play the game and say, well, look, I want to see how good Brock Purdy is without two great receivers and a tight end and a running back. Like, I want to see, like, if Brock Purdy comes out and they start off slow and they 2-3 or something, and he's not playing, they're more apt to be like, okay, let's give him back.
But the problem with that is, which you could tell, listen, I tell you, NFL teams, they don't hide it. They will tell you exactly what's going on. You just got to pay attention. What was their first round pick again? Ricky Pearsall from Florida. They're telling you right now what the plan is. Like, if you're done after this. I'm sorry, you're done.
That hurt.
I get why Brandon Aiyuk is frustrated. I'd be frustrated if I were him.
Hurt his soul.
But the best move for him is probably to kick ass this season, and then somebody's paying him $25 million, $27 million a year.
I agree.
Year. He's getting a huge contract. One of these teams will be like, this guy's awesome. He's a free agent. I'm paying him a ton. Now, they could franchise him again, but I don't know.
That's too much money.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it.
And you mentioned, I will say this. I'll start with you on this because, G, you made this a Ultimate Browns topic a couple weeks ago when I think the first rumors of a potential trade request with Aiyuk came out. And, Bull, you mentioned if you're the Browns, you're at least calling San Francisco to check on his availability and what it would cost. G, with Amari Cooper not having a contract extension and Aiyuk being in the situation he's in, what's your take on Andrew Berry potentially offering a package of Cooper and a second-round pick or Cooper and whatever for Aiyuk if that was on the table? Would the Browns say yes? Would the 49ers say yes? Who says no? If that was the proposed deal, what's the outcome?
Both say yes.
You think they would say yeah?
Both would say yeah. You know why? Because they're essentially, you got Aiyuk for 1 year. You got Amari Cooper for 1 year. Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the game. Aiyuk is getting there. He's more athletic than Amari Cooper. But at the end of the day, with Kyle Shanahan's system, it's all really timing. It's all about timing. Running these crisp routes, and you're going to have a quarterback that's going to get the ball to you. What was Amari Cooper's best route last year? You know?
I don't know.
It was a bang eight. Bang eight. He was killing them on the bang eight. Then they switched it and did the post in the Texans game. But the bang eight. Guess what they like to run in San Francisco?
The bang eight.
Bang eight. So guess what? You essentially putting a dude who's more of a route god actually at that spot, and he gonna get you the same results, and he's gonna create the same separation. So actually, if you in win now mode, if you're trying to do it this year, it'll be easy. You get, and on top of that, you getting a second round pick. Second round picks in San Francisco. That's pretty big in the draft.
Listen, Amari Cooper and Brandon Aiyuk, you'd rather have Aiyuk going forward because he's obviously 4 years younger. In terms of where they are right now, I mean, they're pretty neck and neck in terms of where they rank amongst wide receivers right now, this moment, right?
Here's the problem. You got one problem. Yeah, they neck and neck.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't like. If you was gonna make this move, you'd have had to make this move way earlier than what it was. You know why? I could not have the Cleveland Browns going into a season with a new offensive coordinator, play caller. Deshaun Watson played 11 games so far. He played like 4 last year.
And 2 new starting receivers.
And 2
That's tricky.
brand new starting receivers.
Good point.
Boy,
that's tricky. I'd still do it if I had to. But let me give you something better.
That's crazy.
What if I know this is not likely, But what if the Niners say we don't want to? What if we could get Brandon Aiyuk without trading Amari Cooper and just trade a first-round pick? I would do that if I were the Browns.
That's very interesting.
Can you imagine? And then what I would do is to Amari Cooper, I'd sign Aiyuk if I'm the Browns. I say to Amari Cooper, I'm going to pay you $30 million this year, guaranteed. $30 million for 1 year. Money is no object. Jimmy doesn't give a shit. He'll spend whatever. $30 million guaranteed, so you're happy for this year, and then you go next. You kick ass for 1 more year. You go. Let's go. Browns, if you had that kind of... the Niners wouldn't do it. I'm being crazy, but
my only pushback with that is the Niners wouldn't do it. But my pushback with that is you a trade? You say you trade a first-round pick?
Absolutely.
Do you know who your starting left tackle next season?
No idea.
That's my point. Yeah. You got to protect the $230 million man.
You know what I like, Boo?
Yeah.
You know what? You've come around.
When the Operation Stockpile.
And by the powers invested in me, by the United States Stockpile Organization, I now dub you the lieutenant of Stockpile.
So I
like that.
Lieutenant of Stockpile, baby.
Get away from me. I don't want these picks.
You would trade your first round.
I don't want these picks. We don't ever have first round picks anyway.
Who cares?
Look, if you got talk. You think about this. We figured something out. Hey, listen. Hey, Jack Conklin, you might have to play the left side.
That's right.
So you or DeJuan Jones figure it out.
Yeah.
And by the way, can you imagine what that looks like?
Think about that.
So let me ask you this.
Give him Elijah Moore in the deal.
He ain't get no money.
Give him Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman.
They got the same targets. Tyvus, let me ask you this real quick.
That's crazy, Tyvus.
We talked about the Amari Cooper and his contract situation yesterday. Obviously, it's still lingering over the Browns as they get ready to head to Greenbrier for training camp. In a world where they somehow did acquire Aiyuk, do you think Andrew Berry would be willing to extend Aiyuk? I mean, obviously, if you get him, you do it with the intention of extending him. But is the reason they haven't extended Amari purely the age thing? And if they were to acquire Aiyuk, then he would be extended here in Cleveland?
Yeah, and obviously this would cause further salary cap mess. But Jimmy has him to this point, has showed you time and time again, he'll go over the cap, he'll extend contracts, he doesn't care. If the owner is willing to pay whatever, then the cap doesn't matter. If the owner is willing to continuously extend contracts, defer money, then the cap doesn't matter. It doesn't if you're willing to do that. And Jimmy, the one thing he gets an A+ for is to this point, he's been willing to do that. I don't know if he will forever. But
to answer, what was the question again, Mike?
Is the reason they're not extending Cooper just because of age?
Yeah, but I
probably
mean,
yeah.
Yeah, but also I think Jason was right. Like, both sides have to agree to something, and I think he wants more years. He wants more security in this organization. But go back to the paying to getting Brandon Aiyuk thing, the trading the first round pick. You do know that if you do that, somebody ain't getting paid, right?
Why?
What do you mean why?
Because Jimmy,
there's a such thing called as the salary cap.
No, not if you're willing to keep paying.
This ain't the NBA.
Yes, it is. It looks like better than the NBA.
Actually, to be truthful, they just
crazy.
they restructuring bad deals and they just like go pay up front.
So let me ask, so you would take a backloaded deal?
Let me tell you this.
If you was if you was a player,
it doesn't have to be a backloaded.
Yes, it does. Because it all has to fit under one salary cap for the year.
Right, but if you add years to
you would take a backloaded deal. That's what I'm telling you. Listen,
they be converting them years to an upfront payment.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right
signing
now.
bonuses, all that crap.
Convert it to a bonus, man.
Man,
give
whatever.
Me that money.
Y'all crazy.
And by the way,
you're damn right we're crazy.
Here's how I think about it. Yeah. Like if I'm 75 years old and I got good life insurance, I don't care if my wife wants new windows. Go ahead. I'm 75. I got 2 more years tops.
That's right.
Who cares about the windows?
Let's go.
Like Jimmy Haslam, I keep telling people, Jimmy Haslam is already made all the money he's going to. He's taken all the trips he wants to. He's got a stadium, whatever. At the end of the day, the thing that you remember on your deathbed is, did you win or did you take
right.
L's? Don't nobody care about the purses and the trips and the vacations and the cars. Give the money away. Listen, you're out of here.
That's right. And in terms of the draft pick, Tyvus, in terms of the draft pick, what are the odds you're going to get a player better than Brandon Aiyuk with that? If the things go the way we expect, that's a late first round pick.
The way that they're churning out wide receivers in college football, I don't know, pretty high.
Yeah, but that's going to be a late first round pick.
They got a Mecca Abuka going 30th in this year's draft.
What draft?
This upcoming draft.
Do we know he's going to be good in the NFL?
He go to Ohio State. They all seem to be
They're
pretty
not all good.
Name me one first rounder that hasn't been for the past 5 years.
We'll see about Jackson Smith and Jigba.
He's supposed to be the guy this year. What are you talking about?
They still have both those other guys there.
Who? Lockett. Stop it. Y'all need to cut this out.
Y'all hear this?
Listen.
You hear that?
In fantasy, you better take JSN.
By the way, Deshaun Watson is running here looking around like, this year the year, fam.
Let's go.
That's our next topic.
Go ahead,
and let me set it up real quick
Please
with the
do
poll
so.
result.
I didn't even know. You see how that's that wild card. I didn't even know that.
It is. Gee, if you read the rundown I sent out last night, you would know that. But we did ask the chat real quick, what would you rather do, keep Amari and resign him, or trade for Aiyuk and resign Aiyuk? 52% of the chat said they'd rather keep Amari and resign Amari as opposed to trading for Aiyuk.
I'm good. I'm good with either one. Like if they did either one,
I love
that's
Amari,
fine.
and it feels a little disrespectful to want to trade Amari because he's been arguably the best Browns wide receiver in a 2-year stretch. Although technically, my man Xavier P. Josh Gordon did have more yards in a 2-year stretch, but Josh Gordon, it was like a nothing year, and then he had the greatest wide receiving year ever. Whereas Cooper's just been very good 2 years in a row.